Hello, welcome to RC Truth Media. Today we're going to be speaking about cryptocurrency manipulation. I'm sure everybody has heard of Cliff High that is listening to this right now. Now, Cliff High is famous for his webbot reports. And last year in 2017, he was right on the money pretty much every time he had published a webbot report. Now, this year something has gone wrong. He's fell off. All of a sudden, he's not able to predict like he used to. Well, what has been going on? It's manipulation, just straight off the bat. That's what's been happening. Cliff High has told us that he cannot predict the price of gold nor silver because the markets are heavily rigged in those areas. Now, the same thing would be true if markets started getting rigged in cryptocurrencies. Now, what makes me think that manipulation, rigged markets are happening? Well, I'm going to start to show you the charts. Okay, now this is the charts on Coinbase, and it shows how cryptos were going up all the way until mid-December of last year. Okay, now this is when the markets were free markets. They were allowed to do their own thing before they got on the COMEX. Okay, now I should tell everybody that 40% of Bitcoin is owned by less than 1,000 people. Most of these 1,000 people had got into cryptos at the beginning. Now, if these 1,000 people were to take out any of their money, because they have large sums of Bitcoin, if they were to take out those Bitcoin, any one of those 1,000 people, it would do a high price change in cryptocurrencies. Okay, so if any one of these millionaire, billionaires, one of those 1,000 people took out all of their cryptos, just one person, it's a likely move towards the downturn. And we could see that happened right before Christmas this last year. And then all of a sudden, around early February, is when Bitcoin got in the COMEX, the CME stock exchange. Ever since then, we have seen the market pretty much equal. I mean, it hasn't done any real huge rises or real huge drops relative to last year. Now, this is because when you get things in the stock market, people are allowed to bet on the price going up or down. And when that happens, when they're allowed to do that, it regulates the markets. It doesn't make it move like it should. Okay, and this is, I believe, one of the reasons why Cliff High's webbot reports aren't able to predict like they used to be able to. Now, I want to show you another article about Bitcoin price manipulation, talking about how Tether has manipulated Bitcoin and the price last year. Bitcoin prices are falling again. Here's what's behind the latest plunge. Okay, now this article is from time.com. It says Bitcoin fell. Let me go ahead and get this article up here so I could scroll down. Bitcoin fell 2% early on Wednesday, which was yesterday, dropping as low as $6,385. Other than one brief period in early February when the cryptocurrency dipped below 6,000, yesterday marks the lowest point for Bitcoin in 2018. The latest Bitcoin crash appears to be a reaction to the release of a new study by the University of Texas, Austin. Researchers indicating that Bitcoin prices were manipulated last year, when Bitcoin soared from 800 to nearly 20,000. The New York Times report on the study explained that a concentrated campaign of price manipulation may have accounted for at least half of the increase in the price of Bitcoin and other big cryptocurrencies last year. The research conducted by the University of Texas finance professor John M. Griffin and graduate student Amim Shams presents evidence that another cryptocurrency called Tether was used to purchase Bitcoin after market downturns, thereby propping up Bitcoin prices. Tether seems to be used both to stabilize and manipulate Bitcoin prices, the researchers say in the study. Tether was created by a crypto exchange called Bitfinex, whose executive strongly denies the claim. Bitfinex CEO Jay Vanderveld said, Bitfinex nor Tether is or has ever engaged in any sort of market or price manipulation. But the University of Texas researchers tracked millions of cryptocurrency transactions last year and say that the patterns cannot be explained by investor demand proxies. Instead, they seem to arise through the strategic use of Tether. What's more is this scenario brings with it the possibility of huge profits for Tether creators. The study states, if Bitcoin prices increase, then the founders can cash out the acquired Bitcoins into dollars, likely at a slower pace and on an opaque channel that has less price impact than their initial buying behavior. If the Tether issuers wish to legitimize Tether and avoid scrutiny, they can convert some of their cryptocurrencies to US dollars and retrospectively provide dollar reserves for Tether. That's because Tether is attached to the dollar. That's its intrinsic value is the dollar. After skyrocketing in value in 2017, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have collapsed through much of this year. Bitcoin fell 40% during the course of 1 week at the end of January, and cryptos like Ethereum, Ripple, and Litecoin dropped more than 25% in a single day. The cryptocurrency crash is still happening today. Litecoin, for one, decreased to a new low for 2018 on Wednesday, hitting $97, a dip of nearly 75% of the all-time high of $379 in December 2017. Much like the sharp increase of 17, the steep declines for cryptocurrencies over the past few months are hard to fully explain. Okay, did you notice that there? They said much like much like the sharp increases of 17, also these steep declines are hard to explain. So they can't explain the sharp increase and they can't explain the deep decline. That must mean there's some price manipulation, right? Most observers chalk them up to a combination of countries cracking down on crypto exchanges and investors either seeking to cash out their profits or eat their losses. Or more people could be accepting the premise of critics like billionaire investor Warren Buffett and Nobel Winning economist Robert Shiller, who basically say that Bitcoin is a scam, or at least a bubble that's bound to pop. Hackers and the possibility of price manipulation seem to also be concerns for crypto investors. After a South Korean crypto exchange said it was hacked last week, Bitcoin tumbled 10%. And in addition to the new University of Texas report on Bitcoin price manipulation, U.S. investigators are looking into whether several cryptocurrencies exchanges have been manipulating prices, the Wall Street Journal reported last week. In the University of Texas study conclusion, researchers say our findings provide substantial support for the view that price manipulation may be behind substantial distortive effects in cryptos, and they say that more regulation is needed. These findings suggest that external capital market surveillance and monitoring may be necessary to obtain a market study that is truly free. So they absolutely do need free markets. You know, everybody needs free markets in order for it to be free. It has not been free for the past year, pretty much. During this past year, I should say, we have seen no great rise in cryptos like last year. We have seen a huge drop, which they had said cannot be fully explained. We have seen multiple evidences of manipulation, and there's obvious reasons, such as the stock market, that the price is being manipulated. One thing I can say is more governments around the world are accepting cryptocurrencies, and this is not going anywhere. Cryptos are here to stay. The dollar is the world reserve currency for now, and it is getting weaker and weaker over time. We are at our last leg on the dollar. So at the same time the dollar is at its last end, cryptocurrencies were made. There is no coincidence for this. Cryptocurrencies are here to be the new monetary system. Even though they are regulated right now, the governments are going to take them in. Okay, so with all the FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, one thing is certain: cryptocurrencies are not going anywhere. Right now is a great time to buy. It's about $6,000. Me, myself, I'm just going to hold it out. You know, I have about $1,200 that I've put into cryptocurrencies invested, and I'm just going to wait it out for a little bit. Okay, see what happens. But I do know for sure that cryptos are here to stay, and I do believe that we're going to be going into a new crypto system where the cryptos are going to be the new currency. Okay, thanks a lot for coming. I hope you got something out of the video. You can like and subscribe. I'll leave a donate link below. and you have a great rest of your day.